So I said something, but it wasn't recorded and uploaded, so I'll repeat it very shortly regarding the Titans of Israel, and also I should address the question of like what's going on with the gates right now. Like, I mean, some people don't know or don't understand what's like the issue, so I will explain in the broad sense. First of all, I cannot repeat everything that I've ever said. Just watch the videos, and especially what I call the robot saga, which is kind of like introductory saga to everything that with regards to history and like that is discussed in this channel, and also a little bit biology. I should just say that, I mean, since the beginning of the 20th century, it was customary to get Titan females from Venus through the gates, but mostly they arrived between the 40s and the 70s, to my estimation, by what I call the Black Knights or the Dark Knights, which were Venusians, males, that were raised in Israel for that purpose, and they were conditioned to be homosexuals. I mean, when the conditioning actually worked, I mean, they were part of the project. But this is discussed in other videos. And but there are other Titans that were brought here lately, and this is the second phase of like the return to Jurassic Park, as I say, and this is done through using another gate in Patsan. Now, and this is we'll discuss in the channel a lot. Now, this gate is also it also leads to Venus, and actually to like a nice place in Venus, relatively. I've never been there, but I mean I know that they are nicer, like in like in Earth, like there are like more comfortable places, like I mean like Israel, and there are places like Ukraine that are like I mean barely livable, I mean very cold, like I mean so. Like, I mean, there's the weather, it's kind of like so, I mean, it leads to kind of like like a relatively nice place. And they got like, they resumed like their, but now they only took as opposed to what in the past it was done through mostly temptation. They tempted young females. But this time they took babies that were, I mean, allegedly, I don't know, maybe abandoned by their parents, or I mean, I don't really know, I must say. I mean, if you want to be generous towards the Israelis, they were abandoned by their parents. But I generally do not want to be generous towards the Israelis. Anyway, they were raised in Israel and in families related to the intelligence community, very much like myself, actually. And they are actually, to my estimation, they are about my age. Actually, their profile is probably in some ways similar to mine, in some ways. I'll be 40 this January 7th. So my estimation is that they are between 20 and 40, something like that. And then many of them actually are part of Israeli intelligence, and they are Nazis like everybody. Like they are completely not. All of them are Nazis. They are like most cruel, disgusting, and the scum of the earth. I mean, what do you expect? Like, I mean, you take like, I mean, whatever creature, and you raise this creature like in a lizard family, in a lizard state, like in a lizard organization. So I mean, so you come back like 30 years later. What do you think you will discover? Like, I don't know, like a Mother Teresa? No, you discover a lizard. Like, I mean, it's a lizard. So yeah, they're all Nazi lizards, and this is reality. It's a sad reality, but this is reality. And they don't know much. They so okay. So So the question, like, who's actually doing the raids, like in Venus? And this was changed along the 20th century and 21st century. And it was, I mean, let's talk about it quite a bit. I just say that, I mean, generally, there are three kinds of like, I mean, actors, I would say. The first is the cherub. Without the cherub, the gates are not opened at all. I am a cherub. There aren't many of us in Earth. Usually there is either 0 or 1. And very rarely throughout history there were more than 1 at the same time, but not many. Usually it's 1 or 0. If there is 0, no gates at all. That's why the Israelis don't kill me. That's the only reason why I'm alive. But the cherub doesn't need to pass through the gate. Not at all. I've never even seen a gate in my life. I don't know how it looks. I mean, I watch it under the microscope, but the big ones I don't even know how they look. Of course, I've never been in Venus. Everything they say regarding Venus is deductions and all sort of, like, I mean, investigations. Now, the other type is Titans. And the third type is Homo sapienses. Now, I don't know what, I mean, I don't know exactly what how they decide who should go. I do know that, I mean, the people that go are what I call heavy hybrids. Like, they eat a lot of the tea, and their job is to get the tea, and also to get the females, but mostly to get the tea. And this is done by all sorts of, like, ways, but all are related to cannibalism, indirectly or directly. All is horrible crime. Everything is a horrible crime, and these people are the wickedest of the Israeli intelligence, and it was always like that. And the mischiefs, I mean, is documented in this channel in all sorts of, like, historical videos. But it's still true. Now, I don't know why they need the Titan. Like, I mean, presumably, they don't even need them. Because the cherub opened the gate. I don't even know why. And why should the Titan have, like, better knowledge of the Venus? They were both. This is the new Titans. They were raised in, like, since age 0, like, in like, just, I mean, families related to Israeli intelligence. So I never been there. But maybe there is something there that, I mean, the Titans, like, I don't know. They have some kind of, like, maybe, I don't know, color vision, I don't know, I don't know, special vision, I don't know what, I mean, maybe they feel like, fish, like, in the water, suddenly, like, I really don't know, like, why they need to go. Presumably they don't need to go at all, and maybe they don't. I do know that those that go are what I call the hybrids, which are serious, like, eaters of the tea, and they are also mostly the most disgusting of all the Nazis in Israel, and they are also the ones that are mostly seriously, they are, I mean, not surprisingly, they are related to many intelligence, like, operations of the worst kind, like, and all sorts of crimes against humanity all over the world. They are the most disgusting people, and it was always like that. And the reason for that, I mean, if it's not obvious to you, is that this is a place without a law. Like, you need to understand, when these convoys go to Venus, they compete among each other. They are not even coordinated. They are, like, I mean, it's completely like Wild West, like, I mean, in the worst kind of, like, I mean, interpretation. They fight, like, I mean, they spread, like, I mean, to groups, and the groups, I mean, are competing, like, in a nasty way. Like, the Israelis know, Israelis, they can be nasty, and they are nasty. So it's not even coordinated by anyone, and it was always like that. That it is so, just, I mean, place without a law. So what kind of people do such stuff? Like, I mean, what kind of people even want to participate in these things? People that have no boundaries and no limits at all. So, I mean, it wouldn't be surprised to you that and they get from the tea, which is kind of like a super drug. So, I mean, it's not surprising that they are also, affiliated to all sorts of very, very disgusting operations in Earth. And again, it was always like that. Now, these raids, I mean, sometimes, I mean, it's not, so there was one, I mean, just, I mean, in Sukkot, and one in Hanukkah. And this is not, I mean, it's not a coincidence, because, I mean, it's like it's like, how do you say it, like, I mean, לא רגילה, like, חופשה מרוכזת, as you say, כן, what's the name of חופשה מרוכזת, like, that everybody's going on vacation together, like, I mean, so they do it, I mean, they have time for that, like, so it's not a coincidence that, I mean, and last time, like in the last day of Sukkot, it was, I mean, culminated in kind of like a catastrophe that I don't know what's exactly the nature of this catastrophe, even though I documented it live, like in the days before October 7, it was documented in this channel, like, I mean, the demise of the hybrids and what I think would be the implication of the Palestinians and my support to Palestinian uprising. All of that was documented in watch this channel from October 5th and 6th, just before the outbreak of the war. I don't know exactly what happened. Like, I mean, I don't know like how this Nova shit is related to. I don't. Maybe it's related, maybe it doesn't. Honestly, I don't know. Then the Novans, like the Novan civilization, like how they are related to the T, if at all, I don't know. But I mean, I understood it. I mean, what's going on would have effect on the Palestinian front, and this is documented in just, I mean, in October 4, October 5th, October 6th. And what we had now is, again, the last day of Hanukkah, again, kind of like a catastrophe, and again, weakening of the IDF and the Shabak as a result. And this is great, of course. Now it should be said that, of course, not all Titans and not all hybrids are going like on these raids. Only the most, like, you know, those that are kind of like, I mean, higher ups. I mean, these organizations are so distributed that, I mean, they have no hierarchy. Higher up, like, I mean, in reputation, like, you know, of like how brave and lawless you are. Mostly they don't. So most Titans are still here with us. So, and of course they don't like that I say that they are Nazis, so they threat in all sorts of ways. So, this is like a good opportunity to remind you of something that maybe you don't remember or didn't listen, so I'll remind you of something, all of you. You know that, I mean, there are all sorts of ways of transportation. Like I've said several times in this channel that if you want to know what kind of, like, I mean, vehicle is suitable to transport me and my children out of this hell of Israel, just watch the movie Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and everything you see in the movie is valid for us. I mean, jeeps, trucks, cars, tanks, submarine, motorcycle with a boat, zeppelin, airplane, World War I fighter, camel, I mean, speedboat, everything is fine. So, I mean, regarding transportation, there are all sorts of ways of transportation. For example, the spaceships, they've told you so much about it. Like, I mean, they use hyperspace jumps, like they jump, and they of course do it in faster than light way. But you can also pass through the gates, and this is also kind of like faster than light travel. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned that. I've never like spoke about it too much. But certainly, I mean, I don't even know if I mentioned it, but I mean, the passing through the gates is also faster than light travel. At least could be. I mean, it's potentially it's FTL travel, but it's not the same as hyperspace jump. Now, another thing that you should remember, or you should know, if you didn't know, that there is another kind of like transportation. Many times people call me IT, like maybe, I don't know, maybe, you know, because I'm like presumably a robot. I don't know. This is stupid. I'm not a robot. But yeah, whatever. If you want to conceptualize me as like, you know, like a machine or computer, whatever. But I mean, just to say, you are all computers. Everybody, like Titans or Cherubs, Homo sapienses, and there is actually a very interesting way of transportation, which is transportation of consciousness between two creatures. One lives in Venus and one in Earth. And I'll speak about it as part of the archaeology, like the Akhenaton. You know, there is a video of Akhenaton, the second video of Akhenaton that I promised to hold. I've done like a very short recap, but I need to actually record the second. So actually, this belongs to the second one, like the idea of like the. It was known in ancient times actually. It relates to the Akhenaton video, but it's still a thing. Like, I mean, if you are like a two Nazi Titan prostitute, like in the Shabak, in Tel Aviv or whatever, and the Cubes are, I mean, they think that, I mean, you are really, I mean, you've like, they had enough of you, and they can't wait like for you to perish with everybody by radiation or asteroids. They can just, I mean, press a button and, tuck, your body stays here, but your consciousness is inserted into a body in Venus, and the consciousness of the creature from Venus is immediately, I mean, you know, swept with you. Yes, they do it, and then you find yourself in, like, I mean, indefinitely in Venus, and I mean, no gate, no gate, no starship, no, I mean, nothing. Just, I mean, and you are now in Venus in another body, presumably very similar to, maybe even almost identical to your own, but I mean, in Venus. So that's a thing, and it was known since antiquity. Actually, it was known by the ancient Egyptians, and it's still a thing. So so all the Israeli Nazi prostitutes just think if it's very clever to cross a line that will place you in one moment, like, I mean, in your homeland indefinitely.